At the edges of the lake, trees and forest litter were often buried by lava. For some time, individual tree trunks give off superheated organic gases that burst into bright yellow flames as they explode from the surface of the lake. The more violent fountaining rapidly builds up the cinder cone behind the vent. From 2 miles away at the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory, a large steam and fume cloud is seen forming from the fountain. All of the eruption phases ended abruptly, with the lake level above the vent. Here the fountain has just died, and an avalanche of hot cinder tumbles down the face of the cone into the lake. After each fountaining phase, some of the lava lake drains back down the vent. Often the rate of backflow reaches 2 million cubic yards per hour, or more than twice the average rate of extrusion. The returning stream of lava forms a slowly moving whirlpool, perhaps 50 feet across, directly over the vent. As much as 10 million cubic yards of lava will go down the vent after each eruptive phase. At night, this backflow of lava into the vent is particularly spectacular, plunging into the gaping maw of the vent, carrying with it great rafts of blackened crust. Large slides tumble down the face of the pumice cone, exposing its incandescent interior. These too are carried down by the lava, flowing back into the vent, presumably to be melted again. Immediately after the eruption ceased on December 19th, a yellowish-white cap was formed by acid gases from the hot interior. The tremendous fountains produced great quantities of pumice that fell in a blanket extending many miles downwind. Only a lonely, rather macabre road sign and the stark skeletons of trees remain in the devastated area behind the cone. The lava lake will take many years to cool. Although nearly 50 million cubic yards of lava lay in this lake, the summit of Kilauea continued to swell until early January 1960, when magma evidently moved into the east rift zone of the volcano as earthquakes began to emanate from an area about 24 miles east of the summit. The precise location was determined by means of this portable truck-mounted seismograph. Unlike Kilauea Iki, this is a populated area with farming villages and fairly intensive cultivation. By January 13, the earthquake activity shifted further east along the rift zone, and a half-mile wide strip of land through the village of Kapoho slowly began to subside. The village was quickly evacuated, and by mid-afternoon, the maximum subsidence of the strip or graben was about 4 feet. Here, the fault scarp along the south side of the graben can be seen extending through the village. At 7:30, the flank eruption started. Through the center of the subsided block of ground, a series of lava fountains form a spectacular curtain of fire 3,500 feet long. Lava fountains up to 100 feet high play along the entire rift for almost 4 hours, in an area about 60 feet above sea level and only 2 miles from the ocean. A rather fluid lava flow advances rapidly through a sugarcane field north of the village. As the flow moves forward, pieces of the cool crust break and slide down the front to be overridden by the fluid interior. The outermost vents die out as the molten lava congeals in the feeding cracks beneath to form basaltic dikes. The next morning, we see Geological Survey scientists making measurements of the lava fountains. The temperatures, measured at night with an optical pyrometer, were generally lower than those measured during the summit eruption. During the night, and on the morning of the second day, brackish groundwater gained access to the underground lava conduits, and great, convoluting clouds of dirty ash-laden steam blast from the vent. Vents erupting lava are side by side with roaring jets of steam, and some vents alternate between blasting out pure white steam and molten lava. Downwind, the land is being covered with a layer of salty ash.